makes a good medical writer? What are the qualities of a good medical writer? So these are the top 5 qualities we'll be discussing today. The top 5 qualities of a good medical writer. One is that you have to have the capacity to create original content. Now we're in the era of AI generated content, and most publishers and editors are averse to AI generated content. So you have to learn how to create content from the scratch while using AI as an assistant. You can use it as a writing assistant. And also, your work shouldn't be highly plagiarized. So most publishers, they have an AI score that you shouldn't go beyond, and even a plagiarism score that you shouldn't go beyond. So your ability to write originally, write content that is unique and authentic, stands you out as a medical writer. Then the next skill that you need to have as a medical writer is the skill of evidence synthesis, research. In medical writing, you are not reinventing the wheel. You are writing what has been written before, just that you are pulling the research evidence and presenting it to an audience. And in writing, your audience, they are not usually close by. The audience, they are usually remote, so you are not even close by to explain what you've written. So you need to know how to balance the sources, get enough sources, and balance the evidence to be able to produce content, an article that captures all the available evidence on a particular subject. So that's the second skill you need to have. Then the next skill you need to have as a medical writer is that you need to be tech savvy. In medical writing, you will deal with a whole lot of softwares. You deal with the PC a lot, then there are a whole lot of softwares, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and so many of them. So you need to understand how to manipulate these softwares. You need to understand how to use them to your advantage to be able to produce something that is good, technically sound, and authentic. Then the fourth one is that you need to have a good command of grammar. Whether you are writing in English or French or any other language, whichever language you are writing on as a medical writer, you need to understand that language. You need to understand the tenses. You need to understand the proper use of the parts of speech. You need to understand syntax. That's the arrangement of words within a particular sentence. And you need to understand how to arrange your paragraphs. So you need to pick up these skills, writing skills, and that's why you need to have a good background in that language. And if you don't have, you can take up writing courses or even grammar courses in that language so that you're able to meet up with expectations. Then the last skill in the list of the top 5 is communication skill. And this is one that some medical writers have issues with. In medical writing, you work as a team, and it's usually a remote team most times. So your editor is somewhere in another part of the world, the publisher is in another part of the world, the reviewer is in another part of the world, and you are working on the same documents. So most times the communication is usually through emails. So you should be able to know when to check your emails, how to respond to emails proactively, how to be proactive in your communication with your team. And you also need to understand the tone, the professional tone to use to respond to your editors, to your reviewers, to your publishers. Sometimes some writers run into problems because they can't communicate the way they should. They find it difficult to communicate the way they should, and you see them running out of favor with their editors, with the clients. So you need to pick up all these skills, and there are so many other skills you need to learn as a medical writer, but these are the top 5. So let's recap the skills we discussed. One is that you need to know how to create original content, especially in this AI era. Second is that you need to know how to synthesize evidence from the literature. You need to know how to get the sources that you have to write and include in your write-up as references and as hyperlinks. Then thirdly is that you need to be tech savvy. You need to know how to manipulate and use the PC, softwares, and every other technical parts of medical writing that you need to engage in. Then you need to get a good grasp of grammar. Whether you are writing in English, French, or any other language, you need to understand the grammar. And lastly, you need to know how to communicate proactively and how to communicate effectively with your team, even as you work on a medical writing project. So by the time you put all these skills and then add the other skills, you'll be in high demand as a medical writer. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. See you on the next video.
Please subscribe.